Islam. 13 love, 13 love. Greetings. Yeah, I want to go to through something a little bit as well, like through like the Circle 7, but like 13 love and much love and greetings to all of my Moorish American nationals and all of the people of the world. I am Corey Lealis Cobb-Bey, as known as Coremour Luel Bay. So, cause people have to realize the difference between like that we have three names. But like I ain't want to get into that deep. I want to go into like the more science temple of America, Quran, Holy Quran, real quick, in certain prophecies in like the Moorish literature. Because most people want to, start people away from, the righteous path to have like a certain protectorate, or certain guidelines or certain creeds in order to live by, in order to rise up even higher, you know. So like anyway, that's the reason why like most people want to pull you away from the religion or like they're like in this time because they want to, they want to lead you to slaughter. By the beast that that when you start doing it in a way of like that from your religious beliefs or like from your spiritual nature or from like a divine creator with like that, you open yourself up to disregard the entities or disembodied spirits that's not like in the physical realm, but they on like the plane of force, like the spiritual realm, that see different etheric fields that see like people that's going astray away from the path and getting lead wrong. And that's why like the people like they get that's that stray away from their ancestors, or like they'll stray away from the honoring of their ancestors, or like that they get attacked. They get attacked by demons, or they get attacked by like different disembodied entities. That's how we got into bondage with like that, for going against our mothers and our fathers. That's why our days wasn't wasn't longer upon the earthland and we got slaughtered. But at the same time, like we coming back into, because like this is a new era in time. But like anyway, wait a minute. Okay, so like anyway, yeah, 13 love and much love to Counterland Moors and Cujo. Yeah, I reached out to him or like that, like wanted to make a video, like to prove like these people wrong or like that about like them going against like the Prophet or Prophet Noble Ali and like what he brought like to the world in order to save like humanity from the wrath of Allah. Because like in the Moorish American prayer say, Allah the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet Drew Ali. Because Allah is the mother and the father. It's the all law. That balance everything out from the upper and lower. That's why like Deuteronomy is Deuteronomy. That means it's two laws. Like it's two laws. The upper, the higher law, and the lower law. But you have to could join both of them in order to be one balanced being. That's the divine law. The law of the ethers, the law of the galactic realm, and then the law of like the land, the supreme law of the land. History, and these laws, on this earth plane, or like that to be balanced, or whatever. And it said, Allah, the Father and the Mother of the universe, because it's both forces that brought together. Allah, the Father and the Mother of the universe, the Father of love, the Father and Mother of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night, by day, through his holy prophet Drew Ali. Amin. And it said, who is Drew Ali? He is Allah's prophet. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in flesh. What is the duty of a prophet? To save nations from the wrath of Allah. You see, to save nations for the wrath of Allah. Most people ain't reading the actual lessons, and that's the reason why like they strayed away from the path. And like most people, she like even like so called like young Pharaoh, because like King of Pharaoh, because like yeah, he the actual pharaohs that actually confused the people and had them suffering like on the lower form, like I had them subservient to it, you know. So that's the reason why like, hang on a minute. You see, that's how you know you're going deep, man. Shoot, people hitting you up at the last, at the minute that you trying to make videos. But like, all of the hours that nobody wasn't hitting me up. You know, that's the reason why like this stuff is important and this information is as well, because it can, it save families, it save children. Because you coming into your nationality, your birthright, you coming into the League of Nations. You coming into like your actual, bloodline, like in lining up with your ancestors about looking like them and being restored by the creed and the ancient ways that they've been, that they live in the past. And that's the reason why we going back to our ancient divine creed, ancient divine ancestors. Most people like it's not scared. It's not scared enough, or I apologize. Um, they ain't bold enough. They don't have that much courage or whatever like that to actually, go back into their ancient ancestral ways or like that, because it's gonna be more responsibilities, there's gonna be more rules, there's gonna be more laws that you're gonna have to be responsible by. And that's why some of these people like they don't have like no guidelines, and they don't have like no actual religious creed to actually live by, and they lawless around me, they lawless and stateless, because like they don't have nothing, no organization that's a protectorate on the private side, they can protect them on the state side. And they want and some of these people want to crush all of like the actual religious organization or religious beliefs to have you stranded out here. So like when the emergency war powers get out, you like they raving you up to be against you. To be against the so-called United States government. So you can wage war against it to get killed in the street, because you don't have no distinct identity as a Moorish American national, or you don't have no nationality. And that's the reason why like this important, because like that's why, like, it's a duty of prophet to save the nations from the wrath of Allah, and that's exactly like what's the Noble Drew Ali mission is to save the actual nations from the wrath of Allah, and a whole lot of people like still is engulfed in sin, and that's the reason why like earthquakes and everything like that is still like going on, because like we still haven't fulfilled like the actual duties, and we still bullshit. And like how these people talking about like they conscious and talking about like esoteric information, but you still sleeping with somebody or like that. They still smoke. They still smoke and eat wrong, or still smoke spliffs and stuff like that. Like like young Pharaoh or whatever like that. I respect you, but at the same time, like I lost respect as soon as you like start disrespecting the prophet, start disrespecting Noble Drew Ali, because you don't know his lessons, and you don't know like how it can save your life, and you don't know like how it can actually bring you back into your actual ecclesiastical self, and so you can be a complete man. And that's why people still arguing, they still don't they still don't have like an actual actual glow, or like the merge um to be like they actual ancient ancestors. And that's the reason why they have like all these black spots and everything like that, like coming on their face like acne, because it's like they internal self pushing all their evilness out of it and showing the world like who they are. And that's the reason why like all of like the tornadoes and the earthquake. It's been a whole lot of volcanoes been little do you know, it's been a whole lot of volcanoes that's been erupting the past month, and past week and a half, like coming up, because like this the internal waste that have to get released from the planet in order for everything to come into a total octave. And this the summer solstice. That's why like everybody that's in tune, they feeling different, they feeling like raised in vibration. But like anyway, you said stop. You like this nickname like from the Moorish literature. Y'all need to get this, man. She like, and if y'all want a copy, y'all can hit me up and I can send you a PDF file like the whole thing, because most people like don't know the true meaning and all of like the prophet's lessons in full when he was alive. That's why people still get confused out here, because they don't have the true lessons. Like, and this only could be found in the temples. And most people haven't been in a temple before, because they think that all of them is bad, or they think, and yes, some of them is ran by dirty Moors, but at the same time, the actual protectorate or the actual religious organization, it's actual protection on the state side for recognition on like on the with the League of Nations, then like to be recognized like between any other nation, because we already classify within our titles nobility, the L's and Bays, like within the state records. They already know who we are. That's why all of the state governments already told us about Moorish Americans. And it seemed like a whole lot of people like that started hating about on the Moors and started hating on the prophet world like that. It's the ones that got into this knowledge and wanted to get their status corrected, but they hit up some dirty Moors that's not that didn't know how to get their stuff right, the right way, and want to sell you a bullshit package, and you want to get, you want to get that finalized, and you got ripped off from that. So you're gonna throw all of the other processes, in the garbage, thinking that, that this whole movement, is bullshit. Which you was a lie, because like you already, you talked to a dirty one that didn't even, really was on more science like that. Polite. He got a poor light, because he confused you, and you getting off the path of righteous. Well, like that, but you are. It's all good, because like everybody gonna know who you are, based on the truth. That's coming out, because like everybody gonna have to, confess their tongues, and everybody gonna have to, stand under their own vine and fig tree. They have to be responsible for their own self and for their own actions. So if you confusing the people, and confusing them away from their nationality and birthrights, then on top of that, they come follow you over like that, and what you talking about, and they end up, getting hurt, murdered, killed, or like that, based on following you, and based on not having a custom, or not in a distinct character, or like that, so they get killed like out in the street, and not having a nationality, stop calling themselves black, so when they in the state records, as as a child of property, or a wards of the state, or enemies combatants to it, because they still haven't proclaimed their nationality to be recognized by the government in which they live, as a alien Bay, as a Moorish American national, that you repatriating back to your national government. But at the same time, like if you saying that you are African, why you don't have no African nationality card? Where your national, diplomatic, national passport at? From Africa. What, from some of them countries in Africa, you don't have it. But at the same time, if you, go to your ancient ancestors or like that, you probably have like full-blooded American Indian. But like this, but these the people that bought off, because like I remember, like, before I, subscribed to him, I went to his page, and I went to SETI page, and I went to his page, and he had like 113,000 subscribers, and I said, okay, cool. I'm like, damn, sure, because when I first saw it, subscribed to him, he was in like 24. Then it's like that he paid for his subscribers, because his subscribers, shot up quick within like the last year, if you notice. Then like when I, was looking at his videos, well, like that, when I looked at the subscriber, it was like, 113. Then I said, okay, so like when, him and Sadie was making them videos, I went to, Sadie page, and they had the same exact subscribers, the numbers counts. So that means that they paying for their followers, and they government agents that's confusing you to pull you away from your nationality and birthright, so you can get killed in the street when the emergency war powers get implemented through the Libra code. And that's why this stuff is important, because like that's why like Noble Ali came to put this on the map, so we could be protected on the religious side by God's law. So when this wrath of Allah, this wrath of Allah come on the planet, we'll be protected, and we'll be like, in our, ecclesiastical state, like that's protected under the Most High laws, Galactic. Then like we, immune from the from the state, state law, because corporate citizens. We citizens of our actual, national government, and our state republics. That's always sovereign, you know. And we already diplomatic, protected, international protected by the State Department, via, foreign. What did it say? Foreign officer. Foreign service officer. Because when you get into your national form, like as a Moorish American, you become a foreign service officer. Real talk, or a diplomatic, national. Going like not as a mere like traveler or like that, but as a diplomatic researcher, like with different countries. Like, and you could set up shop like as a consul, like, on behalf of your Moorish empire, on behalf of your, on behalf of your actual foreign power, which is the Almoricanus status, the Moorish nation. But at the same time, you speaking on behalf of the United States government, because we have treaty relationships with them. But at the same time, you foreign to it, with that title of nobility that place you out, on a different strata of classification. And that's the reason why like some of these people want to keep you away from like your nationality and birthrights, and that you, not a Moorish American, that you Aboriginal or like that, that you so-called Indian, that you, like Cherokee and this tribe or like that. That's probably, that's all good, but at the same time, you had a distinct identity and a national character. That place you on a different strata that connect you to your national government that's over here on this land in the Americas, and upon like any national government that's on this, on this planet, because everybody been placed on the opposite part of their government as corporate citizens or slaves of the state, or subjects of it. Subjects, to it, but not subjects of it. But like anyway, like, He said like to the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It say the end of the time is drawing near, so say Allah to his divine prophet, I know Noble Ali, and that is why man's heart must be turned to stone, and many have to see, but cannot see, ears to hear, but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sins. These are trying hours their Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they're trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation. That what you think these people doing? Ain't that what you're and Pharaoh doing? The prophet already told you. Read the literature, man. Don't get confused. It's a like that has been laid down in to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. It's a but if you have true love of Allah, a lot in the spirit of your ancient forefathers and foremothers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him. You see? So that mean like whoever talk about Noble Ali and Moorish Americans, they are enemies. And we won't supposed to be like rocking with them like that or like that and watch them fall, because like they're gonna fall if we stop paying attention to them. We need to stop giving energy to the beast, stop giving energy to these evil ones, and that's the reason why like they here now, because we still give the energy and life force to them. By like everything that they do, like that's bad. Like we we want to give energy to them or like that based on attention, and that's the reason why like that's exactly like what the beast want us to do. Instead of us building our own empire away from him, so he won't get no life force, so he can fall down in that pit. Because that's the reason why like people like begging for attention, because like they don't have that much internal life force within themselves to even cipher or like to even like draw cosmic energy from the universe. But they say that they righteous, but they looking for subscribers. They looking for watches. Now it's all about content, man. And I want to go through one thing too, because like I didn't want to go. That deep on this or like that. I just want to go through the reason why people want to get you away from your divine prophecy and the religion and like your birthrights, and everybody like trying to stray you away from like the actual like movement, international divine movement, then away from the temples, because our temples is not bad. It's just some of the Moors that's in the temples that's been running it for a long time, been infiltrated since the reconstruction of 1938. So, but the actual religious organization like is an actual perfect ecclesiastical government, theocratic government that's actually immune from everything. If you step back, if you step back into like your actual national authority and use that as your authority, because you is now the Moorish Science Temple of America, and you the executor of your estate, you the real estate. But you have to know that most people should like want to look outside themselves for somebody else, when like everybody already laid out the pathway for us and what is to maneuver like in this world to do business in our free national name, because we was never supposed to change our whole name around. We can still use our divine name that we gave ourselves, but we only can sign on behalf of like the legal estate, but we cannot be executor over that estate, because only the ones that's going to be executive of the estate is the ones that use they name that they was born with, just add the L of they at the end, which make it a living trust. So you could extract it while you living, and not you putting it in probate and deading it in order to get the monies. But most people don't know that, because like they haven't been like they running too fast, and they listening to a whole lot of other people instead of looking inside themselves and reading the actual lessons and how it should be done. Because like Noble Drew Ali, that was his free national name. It was Timothy Drew Ali, but like it was Drew Ali or Noble Drew Ali. So why he only used Drew Ali in the public form on the state side, but on the private side you know him as El Haj Sharif Abdul Ali. You know, that's his divine name, but his free national name was Timothy Drew Ali. But most of these people confusing the people, thinking that their free national name is their divine name, which that's not true, because our holy name was never supposed to be on paper. Only our free national name that we was born with, just with the title of nobility at the end via House Joint Resolution 75. Just real talk. And that means the transition will be easy, but at the same time, like most people knew that like the process is so easy to get everything reflected and to get your nationality and to get redeemed within yourself and to gain it, that most people want to fix like little packages like that and sell it back to the people for thousands of dollars and made millions. But check this out. Like he even said, Noble Drew Ali even said, oh yeah, wait a minute. He just said, it is most earnest hope that the Moorish Science Temple of America would not in any way confused with any Back to Africa movement, Because if you're talking about Africa, get your black ass back to Africa and get a nationality and claim your nationality and get an actual passport and stop faking it. Because you still a U.S. citizen or enemy combatants to the United States, and you're gonna be in the FEMA camps once the American Mercy war powers break out, and they want to keep people away from the birthrights before. Until that happened or like that, because they pulling a whole lot of people into the pit just by little monies. Just by little monies, telling you like to donate this, telling you to do this. It's okay to donate like through zakat or charity, but if you telling people to do this, oh, you need to do this, well, like that, that's how you know they wrong, and they pimping you. And it's a we are interested in freeing ourselves and our children. That's our mission. So like, if you got something wrong with that, fuck you. Just real talk. From the greatest it's like we are interested in freeing ourselves and our children from the greatest plight, economic slavery. We believe this can be done by encouraging, patronizing and establishing our own business enterprise. And so we supposed to be on our own. Well, I ain't on our own like we on our like us as our nation, but at the same time we should be cultivating and establishing our own business in our own community, and that's how we're gonna grow and rise up like and separate from this beast. And it's and cultivate our own acreage of land. It's a we welcome into our foes man and woman of group of all sections, all trades, occupation, and profession of sound mind and good character. And she like, and that's why like the Nation of Islam will like that they established so good, because they got some majority of signs from the Moorish Science Temple of America, and Farrakhan got a temple card, and he established the Nation of Islam from the same platform as the Moorish Science Temple of America. Why you think it's running so good like it is? But he just kept the actual nationality and birthrights away from the people because he got bought off. But I want to go through one more thing, then I'm finna where it said like that a whole lot of people gonna use this medium for gain. And they say like it's a whole lot of temptation or like that, and some of these Moors gonna use this medium for gain, and that's the reason why like we supposed to step on our lower self and rise up higher. Because like we are, because the spirit of man, we have to evolve ourselves to perfected man state. If for that we have to face our cardinal safe in order to master it, in order to build ourselves up, build ourselves up strong within ourselves and within our own character and our own mind state. Dang man, what I said, man, I ain't trying to keep y'all for that long. Oh yeah, he said. He said, if you look in some dictionaries, you'll see that the word Negro means a shy person, a coon. If this is not an insult to the illustrious histories of the nation, there can never be one given. Just as they have saddled on the Moorish Americans the name Negro, they have also given him a religion that was made to enslave him and stop his progress. It is the duty of every man who lives to redeem the name of his forefathers and not be herd into a mass of weaklings, because he wants us to be strong men. Stop referring to yourself as Negro, colored, and black, for you are neither. If you are man, American citizens, speak up for yourself, or it will never be done. You see, we're supposed to declare and speak up for ourselves and go to this beast and tell him what time it is, and tell him because if you can make the devil bend to your will, that means that you in the presence of the Most High. But most of these people, like through all of like the Reconstruction era, thinking that this beast or this colonizer was like that. Got power like over the people, but it's only within the mind. It's not physically, but it's only within the mind. And once we shed that love like that, we can stand up and be who we are and be true man and woman in our nation. But it say start referring to yourself as black, and he still calling himself black. But at the same time, like he still got a state ID with his name that he was born with, or like that, without a title on it, which is still classified as U.S. property. And that's for anybody that's still operating operating commerce or like that without your free national name and still getting checks in your your all caps legal estate without the title of nobility. You need to get it right. But at the same time, most people like haven't read the true literature, and that's the reason why they haven't got it right. And they listening to other people because only people only gonna tell you so much. They ain't finna tell you every single thing. They only gonna give you breadcrumbs and tools so you can get more clarity. That's why Noble Draw Lee says study, study, study. And when you stop, when you ask to what to study next, study yourself. Because when you study yourself, you will know exactly how to get it right. But like anyway. But like yeah, he talking about like the Morissan's temple in the Quran, and like yeah, like even like the devils, yeah, they gonna wear our hairdress or like that in private, and make a mockery out of like our custom or like that. So when we wake up into our actual knowledge, to scare us away from it. Why do you think that they made like a Ku Klux Klan Quran, version of like the Holy Quran, like in order when we wake back up to actual prophet, like in the express trust to save us from the wrath of Allah and to be protected on an international and state level and domestic level. Then that's the reason why they did that, to scare people away from their national government. Just like when I got into this knowledge, I thought that oh shoot, like the Illuminati and everything like that, I'm gonna be in them FEMA camps, I'm gonna be like in them caskets and shit like that, like with the beast and the Illuminati and the pyramid on the back of the dollar. I thought all that shit was true, but I'm finding out that that's the Great Seal, and that's our actual national government of 1774, that we've been disenthroned or disinherited. That's why like they separated the capstone, because we been disunified until we reconvene the Congress. Because even Noble Drew Ali said like we ain't gonna never be a nation until we have somebody in Congress. But like after all these years, why nobody in Congress? Because they want to operate outside of the government instead of the government that they think is not theirs. As true nobles or royal Muslims or foreign service officers under the United States of America and Congress assemble. That's why Noble Drew Ali said we citizens of the United States of America, but not the United States corporate states. We have to get that straight as well, man. But like anyway, like I want, that's all I want to, really bring to the table, like on that, to shed light and to crush all these other people that's trying to talk about like the prophet, because like everything that he brought, it's provable. It's provable, and it could be proved like on an international level, on a state level. And there's people like to this day, like Europeans that's worshiping this dude, like got actual statues, worshiping this dude like in other countries. But you got it on some dollars or some different currency in other countries. But at the same time, you hating on this man, and he recognized by all of the nations of the earth. And we recognized by all of the nations of the earth as a clean and pure nation. But we have to be right, and we have to become correct. We can't be like this or like that, but at the same time, like when I see you at your workplace or like that, you don't look like this. Like, don't make sense. You have to be yourself 24/7, and that's how you can be redeemed. And these people is scared to be themselves 24/7 and be their true ancestors, like in a true form, and they want to still follow behind U.S. Customs, still still don't have their national hairdress on, still. Saying that they black, still saying that they this, because they really truthfully scared to come back into their actual national form, because they gonna have to be responsible for themselves now. Most people want to get away from religion because they scared to be responsible. They scared to be responsible. They scared to take up or be a man for themselves, or like that, and be obligated to something, or be a part of something. And that's how you know, like, some of these people are like that, they are part of their whole self, because they always want to separate, they always want to expose something, because like their insides is already exposed themselves internally, because they still talking instead of being still. Until they self and meditate with all of the stuff that you digest, because all the stuff that you digest will like that, you have to have an open eye. Why do you think that some of these Europeans were like that? Pale Europeans told us like our worst part of our history, told us all this strange history like that. So when we come into our knowledge, so we can get away from it, so we can say, oh shoot, this ain't it, this Illuminati, this Mason, this Freemason, or like that. But it's all ours that we gave to them to raise them up to a higher level, like within consciousness, so they can come back into the wings of the Most High, right? But like some of the evil ones, used it for evil. But like, and I thought that they did that, because we already know what was going to happen. We already know what was going to be in our stupor when we were going to go to sleep. We was going to wake back up when everything get established, and all of like the haters get exposed, because we already know who the dirty Moors is. That's why like when everything get established, we already know who the dirty Moors and the traitors are. because they already hate it, because like they lost faith, because like they got into this movement like that, and they got and they went through like a wrong process and they got rejected, and they thought the whole Moorish movement was evil or bad, or the prophet was bad, or he didn't know what he was talking about. But that's not true. You just didn't talk to no true Moor, but or been in no true temple. Because some people is not in within their temples of God, and that's the reason why like they're always outside of outside of themselves, and they're gonna be outside of law, and they're gonna be outside of this country who wants the emergency war power break out, real talk, in exile, cause they ain't lining up with the law, and they ain't lining up with Noble Draw Lee and the teachings. But all of like my all of like my Moors and my Moorish Americans were like that. I appreciate you, kind of land Moors. Like I appreciate you for for reaching out. But but much love and 13 love, and like I always be grounded on this path, man. This is the truth. This is the truth. Like he saved my life as well. Like I got into like different situations, and I'm just 24. Like I ain't that young, but like yeah, I got into different situations myself that I need to straighten up, and like this actually like balanced me. These lessons actually balanced me out, like and brought everything full circle, like with a culture, because you can actually be your, cause like this the only movement that I know. That you can actually be yourself within the government and without it, and 360 and 720 and 24/7, and still be immune from everything, and still like being your national custom, and still be respected as such. But not all these other people. It's not like that. Shoot, they all Black Power word dashikis or like that at an event, but like on they on their job they still shoot, like they take that out and they take that off, and they still look like U.S. citizens at the job. Cause they ain't lining up with law, and they don't have no distinct identity or religion. So that's why like when it's come, they're gonna be the ones to remove from the planet. But like, be wary, and don't let nobody pull you away from religion or the ancient forefathers or your customs or your ancient forefathers, cause it's your protection on the state side. Your protection on the state side, then the religious side. That's why church and state is 50-50. They need each other, but they 50-50. That's why like everything is reflected, and it has to be reflected in order to get true protection. Just like you can't have the religious organization or like that without the state side, or without like actual like civic lessons and laws of the land that actually line up. And just like you can't have like you can't have like the actual like religion. You can't have like the actual state or like that. Without the religion, you can't have like the religion or like that, like just our religion and Moorish Science Temple without on the state side, and have everything reflected on your business and commerce. And that's how you can be like one balanced being. That's the national. That's the divine and national movement, spiritual and physical movement, to be one balanced being. And that's what he wanted. That's why like before like he passed away, he told us the way to look. They already told us like how to actually be ourselves, man. With our turban and crown, and with that seal, that diamond, like on the head, because that's the seal. That's the seal of Revelation 7. Chapter 7. They said that we seal, we seal by God, and the devil already know like that who is sealed, and they already know like who to avoid or whatever like that, and who not to put in on FEMA council or like that, like when the time is right. But at the same time, most people like the ones that's fake about it, well like that don't have no pure heart. Them the ones that's not gonna be saved, because most of these people don't have a pure heart, and they trying to pull people away from like the actual right knowledge without actually doing further researches in different sciences before you try to expose something. Like how you gonna expose something you never went through no temple, you never read the 101s in full, you never even probably read the Quran in full, but you have something to say about Noble Drew Ali. You haven't even spoke to nobody that you like that. That's in the lineage of even knowing him personally, or like that, like within like the family line. And most people want to talk about somebody, but they don't even know like the full truth behind like the person in which they're trying to expose. That's why like studying is key, bro. And when you study well like that, you want to come into the science. That's the reason why like he haven't studied, because if he did, he would have came to the more, he would have came to the movie. But at the same time, like he telling people black, because he don't want people to come into their national government, because like when they do, they'll stop following like fake ass niggas like that. They're trying to keep on that black power, which black never got us nowhere ever since we've been using it. But with that being said, Islamism, um, by the guidance of his Father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to relieve man from his sinful and fallen stages of humanity back to the highest planes of life with his Father God, Mother Allah. And yeah, I'm gonna do the Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Jurali. 13. And 13 love to all of the divine prophets, messengers, and all of the people that's rocking on the moral science, man. Shoot like it pushing it out. Tell me to wake these sleepy souls, man. Because like this stuff is serious. I want to redeem myself in the children because the children, like it's the most important to get our stuff right. And they need to come into this world with a nationality, especially if you know about it, with the L and Bay on their name, at the end of their name. But anyway, 13 love. I love you.